Hi, welcome back. My name is Andy, and today we're going to do a vinyasa flow class. So just kind of keeping in mind whatever's feeling good in your body and just going with that. So we'll start just in hero's pose or any other supportive posture that you want to come into. And we'll just start to tune into the breath. If it feels comfortable, maybe close down the eyes or soften your gaze. Allow the shoulders to release. And just start to drop in. Noticing the sounds around you. Noticing your breath. We'll just be flowing today, but if any time the breath gets away from you, feel free to find a supportive posture where you can come back to the slow, rhythmic control of breath. Allowing the breath to guide us, to be an indicator of when we might need to pause, take a supportive posture, and come back to the breath. And feel free to challenge your body today, but also give yourself grace. Just do what's serving you today. One more full round of breath here. I'm going to start to flutter the eyes open. And from here, let's go ahead and come into a tabletop position. So go ahead and set it up, shoulders over the wrist, pushing down into the fingertips. Knees underneath the hips, hip distance apart, and let's just find some circles. So going one way, and then before going back the opposite way, curl the toes under, add a little toe stretch here. Feel free to find your pace today. Feel free, if you'd like to hold postures for longer, that's fine too. We'll come back up to a tabletop. And from here, let's find some cat-cow. So on an inhale, drop the belly, sit bones, reach up. And then exhale down. I'm just oscillating here between your cat-cow. Awesome. We'll come back into a neutral spine. When you're ready, let's go ahead and take the knees wide, big toes to touch, just sink back for a child's pose. Drawing the forehead down, maybe a gentle rock side to side with the forehead, releasing any tension you might be holding there. Inhale, look forward. Let's come onto our pinky edge side of our arms, and then exhale, bring it back down. Just stretching out through the shoulders and through the hips. Inhale, let's look forward. We'll come back up to hands and knees and start to walk the hands out in front. Drop the chest, hips go high, puppy pose. Chin can be down or go ahead and tuck, placing the forehead down. Inhale, look forward, and then we're gonna make our way onto our bellies. From here, let's go ahead and come into 3 cobra poses. So pushing down into the tops of the feet, roll the shoulder blades down the back. Inhale, pull the heart through. Exhale, lower. Inhale, pull the heart through. And then exhale, lower. Last one with your breath. Just coming up as high as what feels good in your body. Come back down, we'll find our crocodile. Stack the hands, drop the forehead down. Maybe just a little shimmy side to side with the hips, just noticing how the low back feels. Inhale, let's look forward, coming up to hands and knees. And from here, let's extend the right toes back, followed by the left, coming into a high plank. So pushing back through the heels, engage the low belly. Awesome. From here, let's lower down. You can drop down to the knees if you would like. We're going to come down in a chaturanga push-up. So you're going to come slightly over onto the, you're going to come onto the tippy toes. Shoulders slightly go over the wrist. Keep the elbows tucked in. And then we're just going to lower all the way down. Try to go slow here. Keep it nice and controlled as we make our way all the way to our bellies. Awesome. From here, we'll come into Sphinx pose. So drawing the forearms down. And then again, pushing into the tops of the feet. Inhale, pull the heart through. Breathing in through the pelvis and the abs. Maybe feeling a light compression in the low back. And then exhale, let's release. Crocodile pose here, just take a moment. Awesome, let's extend the left arm out to the side, right hand underneath the right shoulder. We're gonna bend into the right leg and we're gonna come over onto the left hip. Go ahead and place the head back down. Right toes come down to the ground. And then our knee acts as a gas pedal here. Maybe a little farther away you are from the midline, a little more stretch you might feel in the left shoulder. And let's bring it back to center. Just take a moment here and notice how you feel. Placing the left hand underneath the left shoulder, right arm extends out. Bend into the left knee and we'll roll over onto our right hip. Breathing. Come back to center and take a moment here. And then let's go ahead and push back up, knees together this time, child's pose. Arms can reach back behind, drop the forehead down. Option to stay here or let's find rabbit. So keeping the knees about hip distance apart, we'll interlace the fingers behind the low back. And then from here, we're gonna drop the forehead down onto the mat. And then when I come up and over, I'm gonna come to the very top of my head, the crown of your head. Okay, so forehead comes down. And then as I
come forward onto my forehead and then onto my crown. I draw my arms up and over towards the ceiling. Breathing. Exhale, bringing the arms back down, come to the forehead, and then slowly with control come all the way back up to hero's pose. Go ahead and tuck the toes under if you want to come into broken toe. Awesome. Let's warm up through the forearms, extending the arms straight up towards the ceiling, and maybe just find an open and close of the hands, a full range of motion here. Getting the fingers into it. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's take it out to the side. Relax the face. 3, 2, 1. Back behind. Beautiful. Go ahead and release that. Shake it out. Roll out the shoulders. And then we'll walk the hands forward and just take a moment here, pedal out the feet. Taking the knees slightly back. Start to curl the toes and lift the hips. We're coming to our first downward facing dog. Go ahead and walk it out. Maybe bend the knees a lot. And then inhale, let's shift forward into our plank pose. And then exhale, downward facing dog. 2 more, just like that. Inhale, plank pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. Last one. Inhale, plank pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, let's look at the top of the mat. We'll step to meet our hands, coming into a forward fold. Drop the head. Go ahead, you can have a pretty big bend into the knees. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Root to rise. Let's reach it up. Take a nice deep inhale. Exhale, hands go through heart center, coming back into our forward fold. Drop the head. From here, right leg extends back. Go ahead and drop the right knee down. Coming into a runner's lunge. Breathing here. Putting some pressure on the top of the right foot. Engaging the back leg. Making sure the knee is stacking over the ankle. Pull the heart through. Beautiful. From here, let's twist. Right hand planks, left arm reaches up. Beautiful. Exhale. Plant the hands, curl the right toes under. Pick up the right leg, and we'll just step to the top of the mat, coming into our forward fold. Root to rise, reach it up. Exhale, hands through center. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Let's step the left foot back this time. Dropping the left knee down. You can always pad the knee with the blanket. You can always keep that left leg or left knee off the mat. Again, just modifying when you need to. Breathing here. When you're ready, let's twist left hand plants, right arm reaches up. Exhale, let it go. Curl the left toes under. We'll step it up, down, forward fold and move to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Root to rise, reach it up. Let's go ahead and erase the fingers and place them behind the head. Awesome. Turn to face you. So when you're ready, we're going to take the left elbow down, right elbow up. Finding a little shoulder stretch here, a little bit of movement. Let's inhale, bring it back to center. We'll take it into the opposite side. And back to center. Let's find that one more time on each side. Exhale, let's go ahead and release. We'll shake that out. Let's inhale, reach the arms up overhead. We'll take the left hand grabbing onto the right wrist. Inhale, let's find some length, and then exhale over to the right. You can stay here, or you can take the left foot behind, finding a little curtsy. Let's come back to center and we'll switch it out. Breathing. And back to center. Release the arms down. Shake it out. And we'll meet back at the top of the mat. When you're ready, let's inhale, reach it up. Exhale, hands through center, or let's swan dive forward, coming into our forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. We'll plant the hands, let's step it back into our plank pose. Let's drop down to the right forearm and then to the left forearm. So we're in forearm plank pose here, pushing back through the heels, engaging the belly. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and drop down to the knees. Come back, child's pose. Let's take a breath. Inhale, let's look forward, coming back up to hands and knees. We'll extend the right toes back, followed by the left. And we'll roll over to the right side, coming into side arm plank. Option here to bring this left foot over for a kickstand. Option to maybe raise this left leg for a little challenge. But wherever you're at, breathing. Awesome, let's bring it back down to center. And we'll take it over to the other side. So stack it up, add a little kickstand, kick it up a notch. It's your practice, it's your time. One more breath here. We'll take it back over to down or to plank, and then we'll push it up, downward facing dog. Take a breath. Right leg flies. Let's take it all the way through. Inhale, crescent pose. Root down, reach up. Pushing back through the left heel. Drop the shoulders down and away from the ears. Beautiful. Inhale here. Exhale, let's open it up, warrior two. Awesome. Extended side ankle. You can use the forearm here on the right thigh, extending the left arm up. Inhale, warrior two. And then exhale, let's let it go. Step it back into downward facing dog. Option here if you'd like to throw in some vinyasas, go for it. It's a chaturanga push-up, either down on knees or through plank pose. All the way down for a cobra or your back bend, up dog, and then meeting back in downward facing dog. Take a breath. Left leg flies. We'll take it all the way through. Crescent pose. When you're ready, root down, reach up. Inhale here. Exhale, open up, warrior two. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, let's let it go. Step it back, move through a vinyasa if you would like. Inhale into your back bend. Meeting back in downward facing dog. Take a breath. Right leg flies, we'll take it all the way through. Back foot comes flat, warrior two. Awesome, extended side angle. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, let's reverse. You can either just reach straight up towards the ceiling, or if it feels okay to reach back, as long as you don't have any pinching here in the low back. One more breath here. Exhale, windmill it down. Let's let it go. Finding our plank pose. Awesome, let's roll over to the right side. Plank pose, side arm plank. Awesome, option here, maybe raise that left leg. Beautiful, back to our plank pose. Option here to take a vinyasa or just push it back up, downward facing dog. We'll take a breath. Left leg flies, take it through. Back foot comes flat, warrior two. So same thing, other side. Just finding the flow here. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, reverse. On an exhale, let it go. Coming into plank pose, let's roll over to the left side, side arm plank. Taking any variation that serves you. Breathing. And then back to plank pose, moving through a vinyasa if you would like. Everybody meeting back in downward facing dog. Inhale, let's look at the top of the mat. Let's step to meet our hands. Big bend into the knees, sit back, chair pose. Relaxing the shoulders away from the ears. Let's go ahead and cactus the arms. Offer the heart. Push down into the heels. Can you sink down a little deeper? Awesome. From here, let's come to stand. The top of the mat, shake it out. Awesome. Big step back with this left foot, coming into a wide-legged stance. Okay, big bend into the knees. Go ahead and tuck the pelvis, engage the low belly. Hands can come to heart center. And from here, we're just gonna find a little pulse. Just building some heat in the legs. Try to relax the face. Back to the breath. Awesome, let's come to stand. Let's parallel the feet. Interlace the fingers behind the back. Let's puff up the chest, finding a wide-legged forward fold. Dropping the forehead down, shaking it out. Go ahead and release the hands down to the mat. Inhale, let's halfway lift. We're gonna take the right toes to the right corner, left toes towards the back of the mat. We're gonna bend into our right knee, coming into Skandasana. You can stay high or come down low. You can use your hands here for a little support or bring them to heart center. Awesome. From here, we'll find Skandasana at the back of the mat. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and make our way to the top of the mat. Go ahead and step it on back. Downward facing dog. Let's take a breath. Right leg flies. Let's take it all the way through. Back foot comes flat. Warrior two. Let's move into triangle pose. It's a little shorter stance here. We'll take the hips towards the back of the mat while we reach the right arm forward. Right hand can come to the shin. If you have a block, you can use it on the outside of the right foot. Maybe you get the hand or fingertips to the outside of the right foot. Wherever you're at is where you need to be. Just breathe. Listening to our bodies, just taking what we need. Inhale, we'll bring it back up to triangle pose. And let's find reversed trikonasana, reverse triangle. Awesome. From here, we'll find half moon. So big bend into the left knee. We'll bring this back foot in about halfway. If you're using a block on the high side, extending the left toes out towards the left. Try to stack the hips. Once you've got the balance, maybe extending this left arm up. Finding the balance, finding the breath. Left hand back to the hip, and let's come back up for triangle pose. And then exhale, look down at the mat. We'll step it back, downward facing dog. Option here to take a vinyasa if you would like. We'll all meet back in downward facing dog for a couple breaths. Left leg flies. Let's take it all the way through. Back foot comes flat. Warrior two. Setting up for triangle pose. So take your time here, set it up. Extending the hips towards the back wall, or to the back of your mat, and then left arm comes forward. Just finding a lot of space before you come down. Breathing here. Making our way back up to triangle, to reverse. And then moving into half moon. When you're ready, big bend into this left knee. We'll bring this back, put it in about halfway. And then again, just set it up, take your time. Some days balance is going to be better than others, that's okay. We're just flowing today, just not overthinking it. Maybe once you've got the balance, maybe extend the right arm up, and then maybe start to get light on those on your left fingertips. Breathing. Hand back to the hip, big bend into the left knee. Triangle pose. And then let's let it go. Look down at the mat. Step it back. Let's drop down to the knees, finding our hero's pose. And just checking in. Maybe one hand to the heart, one hand to the belly. It's allowing all the sensations to wash over our body. Being aware of our breath. Start to flutter the eyes open. We'll come back up to our downward facing dog. So curl the toes, lift the hips, take a breath. And right leg flies. Let's take the right foot to the outside of the right hand, coming into lizard. So take a moment here, maybe grab blocks or props if you need it. Go ahead and drop the left foot down. You can keep the right foot down or maybe heel toe it out to the right edge of the right foot. So wherever you're at, just breathing here. If this is feeling okay and you want to come down to the forearms, that's of course an option. You can add a quad stretch, maybe reaching back, grabbing the left, the left leg with the right arm. Wherever you're at, just taking some time here, opening up through the hips. Just finding what feels good in your body today. Inhale, let's look forward. We'll come back up to hands and knees. Curl the left toes under. Let's step it back. Downward facing dog. Let's take a breath. And take it into the other side. Left leg flies. Left foot to the outside of the left hand. Pause here. Start to drop the right knee down. Maybe coming onto the outside edge of the left foot or keeping it flat. Option to drop down to the forearms. Option to bend into the right knee, reach back with the left, maybe add a quad stretch. And exhale, go ahead and release, plant the hands, curl the right toes under, let's step it back, downward facing dog, take a breath. So short lift, shift forward into our plank pose. Push back through the heels, engage the belly. Let's drop down to the right forearm and the left forearm. And let's pick it back out. So planting the right hand and the left hand. And just alternating here, just finding a little climbing plank pose. Can't talk today. Plank pose. Or just hold plank. Just building some strength here. And then downward facing dog, take a breath. Let's shift forward again into our plank pose. Let's drop down to the right forearm and the left forearm. Option to go back to any of those drills we were doing before, or start to start to lift the hips, and then start to walk the toes forward, coming into dolphin pose. So maybe take a moment, look forward into the space between the thumbs. Maybe it feels more comfortable, drop the head. Wherever you're at, breathing, noticing the challenge that's happening. See if you can use the breath to relax you. And when you're ready, let's drop down to the knees. Let's find child's pose, knees together. We'll reach back, take it out of the shoulders. Inhale, let's look forward. We'll come back up to hands and knees into our tabletop. Maybe just find a little tail wag side to side. Maybe find those circles once more. And we'll start to curl the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Right leg flies. Let's draw the right knee in towards the right wrist, and then draw the shin down towards the mat. So coming into pigeon pose. Extending this left leg straight out from the hip. This shin does not need to be parallel, just to where it feels comfortable for you. And then option, you can stay up high. You can grab a bolster to lie onto, or you can come down to the forearms. Then we exhale, breathing, releasing through the glute and the hip on the right side. Just taking these next few breaths here to nourish the body. And then inhale, let's look forward. Curl the left toes under, pick up the left knee, and we'll step it back, downward facing dog. Take a breath. And we'll take it into the other side when you're ready. Left leg flies, knee to the left wrist, and then bringing the shin down. And just taking a moment, one side might feel a little different than the other, so maybe just taking a moment to recognize that, and just take your time. Noticing what this side needs. Option to stay up high or come down low. On an inhale, let's look forward. We'll come back up to hands and knees. Curl the right toes under. We'll step it back, downward facing dog. Option here, if you'd like to throw in one last vinyasa, shifting forward into plank pose. You can drop down to the knees. A chaturanga push-up. Your back bend. Downward facing dog is rolling. Awesome. From here, let's go ahead and step the right foot to the outside of the right hand, left foot to the outside of the left hand, coming into our malasana squat. So just taking some time here, settle in, grabbing any props you might need. Option to stay here, or if you'd like to find a twist, right hand plants, left arm reaches. You can find a little bind here if you would like. You can start working on maybe grabbing the hands. But wherever you're at, we're just breathe. Hands back to center. Take a little pause, maybe a little waddle side to side. And then we'll twist. Go ahead and release. And then we'll find a seat. So just come on back. We'll extend the legs out in front. You jog the knees up and down a little bit. You just release through the ankles, little movement there. Awesome. And then let's go ahead and find a twist. So right foot can plant either to the inside of the thigh or you can take it to the outside. So wherever you're at, left arm extends up and then exhale, we'll twist. Exhale, let's release. Go ahead and take the left ankle and place it over the left thigh above the knee. Awesome. Stay here or start to place the left foot down, coming into a little figure 4 stretch here. Now, this is a great place to be, great place to hang out, really stretch out through the hips. Or if you'd like, you can start to parallel the shins. And if this still feels okay and you would like a little bit more sensation, you can start to draw the hands, maybe even the forearms down. Keep the toes flexed. Keep rooting down through the hips. Inhale, let's look forward, slowly make our way back up. Coming out of it the same way we came into it, so coming back into that figure 4 and then extending both legs out. Jog the knees up and down. A little windshield wiper with the feet. And then let's twist. So taking the left foot either to the outside of the leg or cross it over, and we'll find our twist. Breathing. One more nice deep breath here. And then exhale, we'll unwind. Crossing the ankle over the right thigh this time. And then coming into our figure 4. And again, just taking notice. The side might feel different than the other side, and that's okay. Just taking some time to recognize. Maybe taking it a little farther if that's what's calling us. you start to feel good sensation, just breathing in to that space. As you exhale, can you release? So allowing our breath to be our guide. On an inhale, let's look forward. Slowly making our way back out. Again, just finding a little dynamic movement. Awesome. From here, let's go ahead and just find a supportive back bend. So grabbing a block, coming onto our backs, or you can just find bridge pose. It's up to you. So when you're ready though, we'll push down into the heels. Let's lift the hips, and then we'll place the block underneath the sacrum. If you're just going for a bridge pose or maybe some bridge hip lifts where you make it more of a dynamic movement going up and down. Just your variation of a back bend here. Just taking 2 more really intentional breaths here. When you feel ready, push down into the heels. We'll lift up off the block, and then just slow with control, vertebrae by vertebrae. Like I said, I can't talk today. Vertebrae by vertebrae as we make our way down. Stumbling all over my words today. We have those days. And again, just allowing the small ones back to rest for a moment. Just noticing any sensations in the body. Taking notice if there's any last movements that you would like to take. Maybe any movement you want. Anything that's calling you. Maybe you want to end with legs up the wall or anywhere you would like. But we will take final Shavasana. When you're ready, I'm just allowing these next 5 minutes or so to be at rest. Be thankful for the body, thankful for the movement, and just allow for rest. And we'll slowly start to deepen the breath. If you have time to lie here for 5 minutes more, I welcome you to do that. But as you feel ready, making your way to a comfortable seat. It's been my honor to guide you. Namaste.